I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell them all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on. And I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on. Then when they see they missed the boy, they get a tantrum on. And I know.
Yo, 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 yo. What's
Hello,
up? What's
Kentucky
up?
Fried
Y'all already
Chicken.
know Sunday nights, designated spitters in the building.
Spittaz.
Y'all already can see it's your boy Francis Lee. I'm here con mi pana, mi hermano de lo mío personal, Kev in the building. What's up, Kev?
Que lo que. What's up, chat? What's up, Francis? Thank you for having me on. Helping out the boss who's feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah, man. No, thank you for stepping in. Listen, man, y'all already know, man. Listen, we got a big show planned for you guys tonight. I know everybody's
sir.
super excited, ready to get this ALCS underway. Okay, some people, made their arrangements to travel to the stadium tomorrow. I know everybody's ready and hyped for the playoffs to continue with our New York Yankees. So we got a lot of stuff to check in on. But first things first, man, I want to say what's up to the chat. I want to say what's up to everybody in here, man. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up. All right. Let's see who we got. Who do we have in here? All right, I see we got Uncle Dom. We got Macho, my guy, Hirsch, Tina,
Yeah.
The Save Situation, Zach. What's up with you, man? Alberis. Hello, que? See, Alberi, both of us can say that name great today.
We got you. Medina.
Medina, what's up with you, man? Lois, Christian, what's up? Chris Silva, que lo que? Dímelo. Caleb, Scott Wright, all right.
Kev Boogie sleeping.
Kev Boogie still sleeping. So Kev, talk to me. Yesterday, as everybody knows, it was a big winner go home, game 5. Yeah. Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Guardians, Tariq Skubal on the mound. I mean, pretty dope game. You could say one swing pretty much decided it, but
yeah.
What are your thoughts about that game 5?
It was funny because it took them until game 5 in the 5th inning to get to Skew. I call him Skew. Sorry, guys. Me and Tariq, we know each other. We went nice play. I call him Skew. But listen, it took them to the 5th inning to get to them. But I honestly think it was a great run for Detroit. But as a lot of times it happens in the playoffs, the team with the better team on paper or more talent wins, especially when it's that wide. When you go to Tariq Skubal and maybe Green, and that's about it to everybody else that the Guardians have. So It was a great run for Detroit. I thought they could have maybe sneaking one out there and be in the LCS, but they're not. And now the Yankees have to look forward to the Guardians.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's interesting, like you said, that it took that long for anybody really to get to Tariq Skubal because the dude was nails. Yep. And I do want to kind of start with that. Detroit, if you're a Tigers fan, you got no reason to hang your head right now. I mean,
correct.
You know where that team was halfway through the season. You know what people were saying, what the pundits said. Everybody said y'all were, pretty much done. You're out of it, selling at the deadline. I mean, it's crazy now to look at Jack Flaherty over there, pitching for the Dodgers in game 1 NLCS, and to think, like, imagine what could have been if the Tigers didn't, make that deal. But they got no reason to hang their head, man. I think this is a team that's gonna have a lot to say in the coming years. And with Tariq Skubal at the top of that freaking rotation, bro, they're gonna be a problem for everybody in the American League, and of course that includes our New York Yankees. I'm gonna be honest with you. I said it on Twitter a couple times. Skubal, as far as the American League, Skubal was like the one dude I did not want to have to face in the playoffs.
He gave me Cliff Lee vibes.
Yeah, bro.
He was a killer, bro. I'm just looking at it now. So
Mhm.
he had at this point he had his first two outings were 6 innings, 7 innings, so that's 13 innings of 0 run ball.
Yeah.
And then he went through the fifth inning with 1 run. So you're talking about 18 innings of 1 run ball until that grand slam. So
Um,
that's a big dog right there, bro.
Loco, fíjate que a lot of those innings that he pitched, how much he was pitching those high stress because he never got run support really.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that's a part of the story that kind of got like lost in the sauce where people talk about how good Scuba was and everything, but like I think people forget like pitching is a different animal when you're always pitching in close games, which is why
Yep.
it takes such a gene to be a closer because nine times out of 10 closers are in safe situations and stuff like that. Scooble did all this most of the time pitching in games that were close. Like it's not like he had an easy game throughout the
No,
playoffs. It's like I could really just let it eat here, like whatever, we're doing good. Like every game was close.
every game was close. I think the first game they won 3-1 in Houston. The second game they won 3-0 on
Yeah.
Cleveland. So I mean, they were close games. One mistake could have turned the game over, but he was able to keep them in there, man, in the series and get them to advance. So shout out to Skew and the Tigers. They're gonna be. I mean, listen, the Yankees have a long history with the Tigers. I didn't want that to start this year,
Yeah.
but it's gonna look like they're out right around the corner. It's right in front of them.
It's right in front of them for sure, for sure. But at the end of the day, the team that did get it done
Yep.
was the Cleveland Guardians, and so they will in fact be the team on the other side of the lines tomorrow night when the American League Championship Series commences. We know officially the pitching matchup will be Carlos Rodon matching up against Alex Cobb for the Cleveland Guardians. So uh it was today. I feel like it was this morning that we cemented the rotation, right, Kev? With Boone announcing the final like game one
Yeah,
starter last thing,
correct.
which is
One,
funny.
2, 3, and 4.
No,
It looks like they announced.
it's not the most Yankee shit in the world that we had games 2, 3, 4 already set, and we just couldn't figure out game one. It's like how you start. The Yankees work backwards on this. Hopefully, it works out. Whatever, but let's talk about that. So the Yankees are going Rodon in game one. You got the ace Garrett Cole going game two, Clark Schmidt
Mm-hmm.
in game three, and then we finally get our first postseason sighting of Luis Gil
Cabito.
in game four. So what do you think about that? How do you feel?
So listen, a lot of people were saying maybe go Schmidt game one, this, that, and the third. I mean, if Rodon cannot beat Alex Cobb at this point, I mean, he's getting paid the big bucks. He's the number two guy. The Yankees, just like they went ahead and they picked Verdugo because of that. I think you're paying this guy to be the number two. He has to show up. It was a different circumstances in the LDS. It's a short series. They didn't want the game to get out of hand. Honestly, you could argue that Verdugo threw over the home and that created a guy to go to second, and then he scored on another base hit. So maybe
Mhm.
Rodon only gives up 3. He was cruising in that game. It would have been nice for him to use again his changeup more. He got slider happy in that inning. Little things that I feel like Rodon needs to fix, and we'll talk about that later. But I'm honestly Carlos, that's what Carlos is. A lot of times he'll go 5, and then that'll happen in the 6th inning. So I'm hoping to get the Carlos that goes 5 scoreless, 5 1-run ball. And then if he gets shaky in the 6 innings, the Yankee could pull him, Boone could pull him right away. So,
For sure. So
but I'm feeling good about Rowe.
all right, what I saw a lot of, and I'm gonna get to the other four, and sorry, the other three in the lineup for in a second. But what I saw a lot immediately when Rodon was named as the game one starter, a lot of people kind of saying, "Well, the Guardians hit left-handers better. Why would you put Rodon in a position where he's likely going to pitch twice in the series?" But me personally, I kind of lean more on the side with kind of what you're saying, like I mean, we're not paying Rodon to be a 4 starter.
Correct.
We're paying Rodon to be exactly this. Like the only reason Cole can't go in game one is because he's not on proper rest for game one. If game one was on
Yep.
Tuesday, it would be Garrett Cole. Game one is tomorrow. So Cole needs another day. Right. So then the next guy in line should be Rodon. Like
100%.
I don't see how, I get people bringing up the splits or whatever, but I don't think we're at a place where it's like, we need to hide Rodon from the Cleveland Guardians. And I'm not trying to underestimate what they can. I'm not doing that at all. But it's more so just putting the faith in our pitchers and saying like, look, if we're gonna win this series, Rodon's gonna have to win a game, right? I mean, there's just
Yep.
there's no two ways about it. As you see in the chat, Guy Lasorsa is saying what Yankees in 6. I see Caleb with Yankees in 5. I've seen a lot of that 5 or 6, and we'll get to our predictions in a little while. But if that's anywhere near close to happening, Rodon's probably winning that game. So I don't mind it. I get why people were bringing up Schmidt, I guess, because he's the one that's on perfect 5 days rest for game 1. But
Yeah.
I think Rodon has to be that guy. Now, let me ask you about Luis Gil, because this is going to be game 4. It's a ways away, and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but our guy Luis Gil is going to get a playoff start, which is pretty dope for him and a pretty big moment, I'm sure, for him and his family. What do you think are going to be some of those expectations for Luis Gil going into that game 4 start?
I mean, the expectations are going to be high, but I'm really weird since he hasn't pitched in literally over 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
He's a guy that struggles with command, and that worries me. But again, he's a guy that you normally know what you're going to get after the first inning. A lot of the bad starts Luis Hill has, it's in that first inning.
Yeah.
So if we get a 1-2-3, I mean, look at the Seattle series where the guy stole home, we got it out, and he was nails after that. So if he's able to weather the storm, or if his command looks okay because he's been working throughout the 2 weeks, then we're gonna get a very good Luis Hill. But I mean, that thing does scare me a little bit. This team is a chippy team. I am interested to see how they respond to, because that's the one guy. Well, Rodon wasn't here in 2022 either, but those are 2 guys that weren't here in that series. It's interesting to see how the Guardians respond to that, because we're looking at a pretty much of the same lineup. Quan, J Ram, Naylor. I know his younger brother is there now, and now Lane Thomas. So I mean, Lane Thomas wasn't there before, and David Fry. Yeah. So I mean, we're getting a lot of similar guys from the 2022. So it's going to be interesting. Listen, these series with these guys, it's always, to me, I call it annoying. They play that bloop single and dribblers and 80-mile-per-hour fucking singles,
infield singles.
Yeah, it's insane. So it's gonna drive me nuts. But hopefully the Yankees could get it rolling offensively, and we get high offense, and we don't have to worry about that. But
yeah, it's a fact. I think with Cleveland, that's my worry, is that they're gonna infield single us to freaking death. But
yeah,
I mean, look, with the Yankees, we've said it, since the outset of the playoffs. At the end of the day, their biggest opponent, their biggest their biggest, obstacle, it's themselves at the end of the day. So I think yes, even though there's, a couple new names in that lineup, and Lane Thomas, of course, was the hero for them in game 5 with the grand slam off of Scoots. Bro, at the end of the day, no disrespect to Lane Thomas, no disrespect to David Fry, at the end of it, it's like, look, if the Yankees don't win, it's not going to be because of those guys. It's going to be because the Yankees did not do what they were supposed to do. I'm excited for Luis Gil in game 4. I will say that. I really believe in Luis Gil. I mean, ever since he, he first got called up, and we saw him. I'll never forget his first start against Baltimore. I was on the call for that one with Pete, and I was super excited for this dude, just knowing the type of pitcher that he was. I mean, those pitchers are super exciting. You guys in the chat know I used to be a pitcher. I'm always partial to pitching, especially dudes like him, bro, that bring that energy. Like when he's on, bro, like it's like there's not very many other guys that are more fun to watch. And it's interesting because it's like you said, like it could be a very, very fun game 4 for us if he's on. Like we can have a shit ton of fun, and it could also be like very, very like depressing if it's not. Because by then you're thinking it's game 4. The bullpen's probably a little bit, worked, and then like if he doesn't give you length, then things can get ugly quickly. But the Yankees are showing belief in him, and I think that's a clear sign also that Nestor wasn't ready to come back into the rotation, right? Because I think if Nestor would have been healthy, then for sure the 4 guys they went with would have been Cole, Rodon, Clark, and Nestor. But with Gil getting that last spot, that just tells us like Nestor's still not there.
My boy Nestor.
Yeah, nasty Nestor. we still miss him. So let's talk about the Guardians. So their rotation is a little bit of a
Meh.
yeah, it's a little bit of a, patchwork put together, work in progress, if you will. It's a little shaky. All right. It's a little shaky, but again, I don't want y'all to hear this and be like, oh shit, they say this shaky. That mean we're gonna just sweep them or whatever. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying this is not like the heralded top tier rotation that you're probably used to the Yankees running into in an ALCS. The Guardians rotation is made up of guys like Bybee, right? Tanner, I think is he a Tanner?
Mm-hmm.
Tanner Bybee,
Boyd, yeah.
Matt Boyd, Alex Cobb, and then I don't
I
know if
think that's it. I think they go opener, right? For
yeah,
4.
I was gonna say I think I'm hearing they're thinking of doing like a bullpen game for game 4.
That's gonna be rough, especially if the Yankees can get to the bullpen in game 3. That's gonna be clutch.
It is. It really, so it's like, again, the more you look at it, right? You look at the writing on the wall. It's like it seems like the stars are kind of aligned for the Yankees
Mm-hmm.
to do what they need to do. But again, the games still need to be played.
Yep.
I look at Cleveland, and again, these guys, Bybee's a right-hander, Cobb is a right-hander. We know what the Yankees have been able to do against right-handed pitching. And these two guys, again, with all due respect, these two guys aren't world beaters. So when you look at tomorrow's game 1 against Alex Cobb, this is 1000% a game where the Yankees offense should do what they need to do. Am I right?
Oh no, 100%. I mean, I'm trying to look at their splits now and stuff like that. I'll get some more information on that. But listen, this out of the last couple of years, the Yankees in the playoffs, this is the least, like, I would say the weakest starting rotation the Yankees have faced. As much as people want to give shit about the Royals and saying that they were Royals, they had a solid a 1-2 punch with Seth Lugo
Yes.
Reagans, and Walker was no joke either.
Walker
So
pitches well against the Yankees.
correct, exactly. So that's what people didn't understand. Right now, you're looking at like Walker is like Bybee is their number one. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it changes the narrative drastically. So as I'm never the type of person that likes to. I'm superstitious like that. I mean, I know people say that the Yankees should listen. The players should believe that they're going to win, and that's their job. Me as a fan, I'm not going to put that bad juju out there. That's how I am. The Yankees still need to play this game, but just talking about what's on paper, it looks good that the Yankees are facing a team that doesn't have that much of a starting rotation. Now, their bullpen, on the other hand, is their juggernaut, but the Yankees have also got to their bullpen here and there. But we're talking about the rotation now, and I feel very confident, especially that the Yankees have been one of the teams that jump on starting pitchers the most, except when it's a lefty, this year. So it's good. I'm confident that the Yankees wake up, especially the captain, and we'll talk about that after. But I feel good, right, Francis?
No, loco, I'm looking here too, and I'm thinking, if you're Stephen Vogt, why, like, what behooves him to say I'm gonna go 2 righties in the Bronx? But I guess Boyd must have went in game 5 if I'm not correct. But
but hasn't Boyd only pitched like 20 plus innings this year, and then they're keeping him to because he looks like when he last pitched, he only threw 2 innings too as well.
Yeah,
so.
it's a weird thing.
Yeah,
but I just feel like, so Boyd. The reason I'm bringing up Boyd is because Boyd is their lefty starter, right?
okay.
And if you're game planning for the New York Yankees, I think everything as an opponent, everything starts and ends with your lefty starter. To
That's
me,
key. Yep.
you couldn't go with him game 1. I get it because he did pitch recently. I'm just surprised they didn't at least put him in game 2 to try to get one in the Bronx before taking the trip back to Cleveland, which is normally the game plan here. I'm not saying that there's no chance whatsoever that they win one of the first 2 games with Cobb or Bybee. I'm just saying it just doesn't seem like that was like the best thing for them to do. And I feel like the Yankees are in a very good position against Cobb and Bybee to start out the series and go up 2-0 at home because of how well they hit right-handed pitching and the right-handed pitchers that they're going to be facing. Now, let's also be honest. Let's not, let's not get a little bit too carried away, because we know that the Yankees are also the team that likes making 6 ERAs look like 1.2 ERAs.
Yeah.
So again, I'm hoping, I'm praying to God that that's not the team that shows up in these next couple days here in the BX. But again, the work still has to be done. The game still has to be played. It just was interesting to me that they didn't put Boyd in one of the first two games, and he's still not even named as the game 3 starter.
Yeah, and to your point about the Yankees making bad pitchers look good, I think also it's looking at the lineup at the time that was. I mean, towards the end of the season, the Yankees were playing a solid baseball. After the All-Star break, they looked a lot
True.
better. It just
That was
felt,
happening less.
yeah, correct. And
Yeah.
then also it's like when you look at the last series, we didn't mention this enough, but I thought Anthony Volpe had an amazing series offensively. He worked a lot of walks. He
Talking
was
about Kansas
hit.
City, right?
Yeah, in Kansas City, he was hitting
Facts.
the ball hard, even though
Yes.
some of them didn't go through. But he was, I think he had like 4, 6 walks in 4 games, and that was unheard of from Volpe. You know, Volpe was a guy
Yeah.
who I used to argue that should walk more because he should be
Doesn't walk
stealing more
enough. Yeah.
bases.
Mhm.
So to see that, that lets me know that his mindset is in the right place. He's about to break out, and hopefully, the man, the king of New York, also breaks out and makes those guys pay. So it's going to be interesting, but I feel like this offense is slightly different. I get it's the playoffs, but the Yankees are in a good spot. They listen. I mentioned to Pete and to you last time that
Mhm.
watching these games, I didn't feel the nerves that I normally feel every year. I don't know why. I don't ask me why. I have no idea. Maybe
Yeah.
it's because Soto's in there. Cole's more seasoned. I know Giancarlo. I knew was gonna come through. I always talked about Glaber, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like the Yankees are in a good spot, Francis. So I think they're gonna be pretty good.
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's not so much, it's not a bravado thing for me. It's not like, oh, like, it's a cocky thing. I'm just, oh, we're gonna smoke these guys, whatever, like that. Like, I believe my team is gonna win for sure, and I'll get into my actual prediction later. But yeah, I'm with you. It does it again this year. We've all said it in different ways and shapes and forms. For whatever reason, this year does feel different, and hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully that's a good omen,
Mm-hmm.
going into the next series and beyond. But we mentioned a little bit about that bullpen that the Cleveland Guardians boast, and it's probably one of the better aspects of Cleveland's game. The bullpen. You
Correct.
guys already know. I mean, I don't think there's really much we got to talk about when it comes to Emmanuel Clase. This guy, for me, in my opinion, he's the best that there is when it comes to closers in baseball. I know that you have your hater guys out there. There's the Mason Miller lovers from the one season. I get it. For me, when it comes to Francis, Clase is it. I know last year he didn't have a representative year. A lot of people like to bring that up when they make their Clay Holmes arguments for some
Yep.
odd reason. But to me, Clase is he's like the standard right now when it comes to closers, and he had a phenomenal year. But aside from him, they got a couple other guys that are decent. They got Tim Herron, I think is his name. He's their lefty guy out of the pen. And then they could also use guys like Joey Cantillo and Gavin Williams, who are lefties, and also started some games. I think Williams started more. I think he started like 18 or something like that. I know Cantillo didn't start that many, but I was talking to Pete, but just before you jumped on, that they don't have very many lefties in that pen,
No,
and
I'm
the
trying to
one
look.
that's like really, really a problem is Heron. But outside of that, they don't boast very many. Like, it wasn't like you said. You brought up the Royals, and
Yeah.
again, to give the Royals their credit, you know, the Royals series, again, when people look back at it, I was talking about this on All Rise. When people look back at that series, I feel like it's going to get lost or forgotten just how close that series was,
It
because when you
was.
look at it, you'll see the Yankees won 3 games to 1. But in reality, if you watched all the games, these were close games. I think the only
Yep.
game that it felt like the Yankees were in control start to finish was game 4. And outside of that, every other game was close. And I think the reason being for that was that the Royals pitching pitched very well to the Yankees, and the Royals had, pretty strong lefties to come out of that pen and, pitch well. But I liked the way the Yankees looked against those lefties that Kansas
Mm-hmm.
City had. I liked the way we looked in those first couple of tests against left-handers. Even the Reagan's game, we lost that, right? We lost game 2.
Yeah.
We lost game 2. We had our event last Monday, and we lost game
A
2 against
legacy. Yep.
Reagan's, but it wasn't for lack of opportunity.
Hell no.
It
That
wasn't
this
for
was
lack of opportunity.
what we were really upset about is that they had Reagan's on the rope almost every inning, and they just couldn't come up with a big hit.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time between that happens. I think what the good thing that the Yankees don't have to face is, like you said, on top of having Reagans, they also had three lefties in that bullpen,
Yes.
and they would use it, especially with the first two games having a day off in between. It set them up to be able to use it against us twice in a row.
Hmm.
So, that's why I'm looking at Austin Wells, and I know he's been struggling before this series started, but I hope that he breaks out because he's going to need to. I don't want them to shuffle it yet because it depends. Having Stanton behind Judge, it's going to put too many lefties in a row, so I don't think the Yankees do that anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see that. But yeah, I think that that's the one thing that the Yankees can fall back in relief, that Herring is the guy they got to watch out for.
Yeah.
But if they already get ahead with the starting pitcher and they score what they're supposed to, they can weather the storm of Herring for an inning or whatever the case may be. And some of those guys, like maybe I don't know, Trent Grisham, you can pinch hit here and there who have reverse splits.
Hmm.
Is going to be interesting to see as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of Birdie, especially as if Rizzo's not ready. I'm excited to see the roster. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Boone said today that Rizzo is still a possibility for the ALCS roster, and that was I mean, I'll probably ask that question later with Rizzo, but um, to finish up with Cleveland's bullpen, we know that at the end of the day, their game plan is always to find some way, some bridge to get to Emmanuel Clase. But when it comes to the Yankees, I mean, you guys in the chat, you guys watch these games every time, whatever. You guys should know this by now. But for anybody who doesn't, the Yankees have gotten to Class A
Multiple times.
multiple. It's not like we got to him that one time. Like the Yankees have got to Class A couple times, and Class A was just had in that Detroit series. He gave up the home run to who was it? Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Or so he get the home run that ended up and that's how Detroit ended up winning that game, and that really extended the series and helped get them to that game, propel them to that game 5. So again, I started out with, all the respect in the world for Class A because that's how I feel about the guy. But I also want to make sure that we put it out there. Like, this is not an unbeatable, like, this is not a guy who, like, we've never had success with. We're not familiar with. He's just going to come in and kill us. Like, nah. Guys, remember, if you're in the chat right now, please remember, smack that likey, hit the subby. You already know it's playoffs time. This is big for the youth, so make sure you do that. But yeah, I think with Class A, we shouldn't be like looking at this dude like the Grim Reaper. This is a guy who the Yankees can get to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right here. Emmanuel Clase has an ERA of 2.45 versus the Yankees in his career. He has two losses against the Yankees too.
Yeah.
So listen, the Yankees have definitely got to him. If it's a one-run game, you can feel good, even if it's a two-run game, because the guy gets on, one swing could change everything. But when it gets to 3 and 4, that might be the worry there, because I don't think Clase will give up a lot. But hopefully the Yankees don't find themselves in that spot, like I said, because of the starting rotation and what they have to get to. Honestly, the more you keep Class A out of appearing will be better. It's going to be interesting to see what that is. But like we said, even teams with the best closer in baseball, who right now the best closer in baseball this year was Emmanuel Clase. He gave up 4 earned runs the entire season and gives up 3 the night with Detroit. So it's playoff baseball, baby.
Bro.
It's wild.
Crazy.
So.
But the home run is always going to be a factor when it comes to a guy like Clase because of how hard he throws.
Yep.
He throws really hard. And then when you got a lineup like the Yankees that features your Sotos, your Judges, your Stantons, Wells has pop. Jazz Chisholm has been known to take a guy like, hey, yo, pause. But when you got a lineup that has the kind of thump that the Yankees does,
Trent Grisham, he turns on those, bro.
Trent Grisham is another guy. It's like, yeah, bro, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Yankees do get to a guy like that. But again, hopefully we're not trying to beat Clase in a situation.
Correct.
Like, hopefully we only find ourselves in that situation one time that we're trying to get a win off of beating him. I think if the Yankees do what they're supposed to do, the game should be won before we see him. And that should be much more of a formality by the time he's into the game. But we could close up with Cleveland's bullpen. I also wanted to talk a little bit about our offense and how we feel about our offense going into this series against the Guardians. Because, there's been talk on Twitter of, well, the Yankees offense really hasn't shown us much, in the playoffs, just going off of this Kansas City series,
Mm-hmm.
because it's true. We didn't. I think we scored 6 runs in game 1, right? We won 6-5. And then after that, the rest of them were all pretty low scoring affairs as the Dodgers just add another run. It's 4-0 in the fourth. So yeah, a lot of people saying, oh, the Yankees offense, didn't really like show up or really break out against Kansas City. How do you feel about the offense going into the ALCS?
I mean, like we touched on it briefly. Like I said, what people fail to see is Kansas City had 3 lefty relievers,
Yeah.
and the Yankees has been struggling with lefties all year. They're
Mhm.
heavy lefty right now, so it's like that's gonna happen. What you should be taking out of the positive, and maybe even worried if you're an opponent waiting to see the Yankees in the World Series or whatever, or thinking if the Yankees advance, we're gonna see them, or even the Guardians fans looking at what the Yankees are. It's that they were either to go tit for tat and grind wins out with Royals and with the best of them. That's something that the Yankees weren't doing much in the early of the year, Francis. A lot of close games for the Yankees were ended up in losses,
Losses.
or if it was tied in extra innings, we couldn't. We I think we were the 2 for 9 or something like that in extra innings this year. So
Yeah.
the Yankees weren't able to come out with the win. So for them to be able to come out in the ALDS tit for tat with that gritty Kansas City Royals team is something that I took, and that's what I savored the most. Judge didn't hit. Let's be honest, he didn't. The Yankees still found the way to win. So that rarely doesn't happen. Even when the Yankees played in 2022 in the LDS, Judge hit 2 home runs, one of them against McKenzie, which was a big 2-run shot, him and Oswaldo Cabrera. So people forget that. I know sometimes you look at the numbers and you say, "Oh, Judge only had 2 home runs in the series," but what did that game end 3-0? Was that 2-run home run a big home run? That matters as well. So I think that the Yankees are going to be fine. Like I said, seeing Giancarlo the way he's hitting Glaber, and then having guys like Volpe and Judge look like they're getting better at bat by at bat is only going to strengthen that lineup. And honestly, we touched base on Rizzo. Birdie's hitting the ball hard, and Birdie looks great at first.
Yeah.
So the Yankees don't have to rush anything. Birdie made a couple of really big plays at first for him to be playing first for the first time. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And adding Birdie, having speed in the lineup is going to be something that Cleveland Guardians haven't seen from the Yankee side. So
exactly. A lot of people, that's a great point by Kev there, because a lot of people are, talking about, and this is more so on the Guardian side, because I there's this thing that I do in the playoffs when we're about to play, another team. I like to jump into that team's Twitter world just to see what they're saying, like about us and about their own team going into the series, because it kind of gives me like an idea what to expect. At the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to baseball, nobody knows their team like the fans. So that's why I like to get that info from the teams. And across Guardians Twitter, a lot of what I'm hearing is, well, they don't know David Fry in the playoffs, right? They don't know Elaine Thomas in the playoffs from us. Yeah, they're used to J-Ram. Yeah, they're used to Naylor, but this is a different team. This is a different offense. And it's like, yeah, true, respectfully. Y'all might not know these Yankees either, though. Like, again, the 2022 Yankees packed you guys up, and those Yankees were not these Yankees, okay?
No.
Those Yankees did not have Juan Soto. Those Yankees did not have Alex Verdugo playing left field for them. We did. Let's not forget, we did that series against them in 2022, and we still hadn't really had a good left fielder out there. Like,
no.
you know what I'm saying? They didn't have, John Birdie. They didn't have the speed. They didn't have the speed that we had. Volpe wasn't even on the team yet because his rookie year was last year. Like, these are different Yankees also. And the way that the Yankees play now is very different from the boomer bust Yankees that they're
used to seeing.
6-0 Dodgers in the fourth.
Diablo.
So the Dodgers broke this game 1 wide open against our Queens baseball friends over there. But yeah, bro, like the Yankees that they're used to seeing and knowing, this is not the same team. I feel like we were way more boomer bust in 2022, and we found a way to get that done. And if I'm being honest, I don't think that series was supposed to go 5 games. I mean, I think there was opportunities that were missed, and that's why it ended up going 5 games. But I don't think it should have. Now, this series is very different. I think it's a very different team. With Aaron Judge, right? We've spoken about this many times. I think we've been over it ad nauseum at this point, bro. But at the end of the day, this is our job. This is what we do. We got to cover it. What do you, Kev, like, what are you expecting from Judge in this series? Do you think he's going to break out? Or are you expecting it to look similar to what Kansas City looked like?
Well, so no, I
Like
don't. I don't.
if you had to call it.
So listen, it looks like Mookie Betts got out of his funk, and it
Yeah.
took him 3 years because Mookie Betts had like 3 years without hitting in the playoffs. So Judge, what I saw the last couple of games, he's barreling the ball. He got Bobby Witt made a great play at him there, and he ripped a double. That's a custom of what I'm seeing from Judge. I think he's literally like right there. Um, it's gonna be interesting. I don't think he's gonna have an amazing series, but I think he's gonna have a decent series. So decent being maybe 260 with a couple of
Okay.
home runs in big spots and a couple of RBI singles or RBI doubles. So I don't think he's gonna be like a Bryce Harper type, like which would I would if Judge goes turns into that. You know, when Judge hits 15, 20 home, 15, 17 home runs in a month, if that's
Mhm.
the Judge that we get, boy, I don't care who's in front of the Yankees. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's there yet. I want to wait and see. But I still think he's going to have a competitive series. And to your point before about the Yankees don't know who Lane Thomas is and that when we played them in 2022, Gabriel Arias and Ahmed Rosario were on that team, and they were both hitting 280, 300 in that series too. So they were pesky. SpongeBob.
Ahmed
What?
was always a tough out for us.
Correct. SpongeBob. Gonzalez. He didn't hit the greatest, but he came up in big spots for them. So
Mhm.
you're switching those guys with Lane Thomas, and yeah, some of them
And David Fry.
are better talent wise, but when we look at roster length, then it's you're kind of washing one with the other. So it's gonna. So I just wanted to point that out. But
Yeah.
I expect a decent series from Judge. Nothing crazy, but I expect them to contribute.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more inclined to go out on the ledge and say I think this particular matchup is the dream matchup for Aaron Judge. I think, and again, it's no disrespect to anybody. I think if we would have drawn the Tigers, a lot of people would have, a lot of people probably felt like that was the lesser team for one reason or the other. But pitching wise, I think that matchup for Judge would have been a nightmare.
Yes.
Because I think that would have been a nightmare, and we probably would have maybe been set back a little bit with his progress. Because it is in fact the Guardians, and they're coming out games 1 and 2 in the Bronx, his home, King of New York, okay, with Alex Cobb followed by Bybee. I think this is tailor made for Aaron Judge to have a
A big
Aaron
series.
Judge type series, like, and not playoff series. I mean, like
Oh,
a
Raj.
regular season series. I think, yeah, bro. I'm gonna go out on the ledge. I'm gonna say he breaks out this series. I don't know. I mean, it could be a logical. I think the logical bet is what Kev is saying, guys. So if you guys are actual bettors and put your money on this, I think logic is going to tell you to go with Kev. But there's something in me is telling me like this is that series for him, just because of the matchup. I love the matchup for him. A lot of right handers, and again, even the lefties that they do boast. These are guys that Aaron Judge should be able to handle. I think he's going to break out this series. What about Austin Wells? You mentioned it before. Austin Wells didn't have the series that he wanted going back to Kansas City in the ALDS. You think Austin Wells breaks out this series, or you think it's going to be more of the same?
Um, I mean, he's going from facing a lefty. I want to go see. I think he maybe faced two righties in the whole series besides the Seth one. So
Mm.
he's going from facing a bunch of lefties to facing a bunch of guys that he feasts on, which is
Oh, okay.
righties.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see Austin Wells this series. I think this is where he definitely breaks out, and we get a couple of those big Austin Wells hits.
Yeah.
Um, but the guy, I mean, the guy, honestly, and we'll get to it later. Man, I think Big G is the one who's gonna. I mean, I know we were gonna get into predictions later, but I think
Yeah.
Big G is the one who's gonna have a phenomenal series. He
Okay.
slugs 505 against righties, and
Yeah.
so 22. I believe he has 20. What is it? 20. No, 22 home runs against righties this year. So I really think that Big G is gonna go off again this series. He's gonna continue his hot streak. I can't wait because I know the camera angles normally are better in Cleveland, and when he hits one of his moonshots,
Like a bomb. Yeah.
oh my God, so I can't wait. So I think Giancarlo is the guy that everybody should be looking at to continue with this Yankee offense. So I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah. No, bro. I'm with you on that. It's crazy, and I'm glad you brought up G because I think G is somebody who even after having the series that he just had against Kansas City, you almost know that like people still don't expect him to be the guy in this next series, right?
Correct.
Because they're like the Soto and the Judge but it's like, bro, Giancarlo playoff G is a freaking thing. It's just been proven. At this point, I don't think anybody can refute that shit. Like playoff G is a
real
vibe. It's real. There's no, ifs, ands, or buts. There's no two ways about it, bro. That shit is a thing. Like, so I don't know how you go into a series and don't think he's gonna have his say, unless of course the matchup just really doesn't favor him.
Mm-hmm.
The same way I think it favors Judge, the same way you say it favors Wells, it sure as shit favors Giancarlo Stanton. So would anybody be surprised if G had a big series? And I remember, if I remember correctly, that game 5 back in 2022, he had a home run early in that game.
Correct.
He had a home run early in that game.
A big home run.
A big, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see G continue added to the legend of playoff G, man, because that shit has been so fun. All right, cool. So I think we've, pretty much broken down every aspect of the game. We talked lineup, we talked bullpen, we talked starters. Let's get into what everybody really wants to know at this point, which is what do we think is going to happen? Who wins the series? How many games does it take? All right, first off, I'm going to have Kev go first, but I also want to see you guys in the chat put your predictions in there. So you pick the team and how many games you think they're going to win in. Kev, what's your prediction for the American League Championship Series?
We got 130 strong on here, so please
smacky the likey, hitty the subby.
I got the boss on record there, so
there you go
for that. But smack
Always
that like
good.
we're 10 away from 100. So, but listen, I think that so there's one that I know the Guardians are going to take, but then I think there's one that the Yankees are going to give them. So I think I want to say 5, but I'm going to go with 6 because I feel that's going to happen. There's one game where the Guardians are going to have and the Yankees aren't, and then there's one game that I think the Yankees are going to fuck it up somehow. But I got the Yankees in 6.
Yanks in 6. All right, let's go. Let me look at the chat real quick. I'm seeing a lot in here. So I got Medina, Yankees in 6. Zach, Yankees in 4. Scott Wright, Yankees in 5. Kicking with Roy, Yanks in 6. 5 Frank, Yanks in 6. I thought
Yanks in 4. Damn,
yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, they got him sweet, but I got Damian, Yanks in 6. Philo, Yanks in 6. Caleb, Yanks in 5. All right, I'm seeing a lot of 5s, a lot of 6s. Okay, so more or less, I think the chat is going 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Oh, I got another one. Wawa says Yanks in 4. Shout out to Wawa. I fucking love Wawa. I don't know you personally in the chat. I'm talking about the spot where you go get the sandwiches and shit.
Oh shit.
But hey, if you just as good as the store, man, then you my guy. Now the Yanks in 4s are coming in. We got some bravado in the chat that just arrived. All right, cool. Listen,
it seems like a lot of 6 and 5s and a couple of Yankee sweep. Yeah, I like the confidence, but I mean, I gotta get Paulie Sackaballs. That fucking name. He says 4, but I think I get why they would say sweep. If the Yankees go up 2-0, then I think you can start thinking that. But if it's a split at home, then it's gonna look like more what we were talking about. But
yeah, here's the interesting thing, though. Say we handle business, the Yankees go up 2-0 before heading to Cleveland. Game 3, we know we got Schmitty. Schmitty looked good against the Royals the other day. And say they do go with Boyd, but again, they do that little thing where they limit his limit. They limit his innings, and they're going mostly bullpen. And then the next day, it's full bullpen.
How's that gonna look? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. In a 7-game series, that's gonna be real rough. Is it 2-2-1-1-1 or is it 2-3-2?
It's 2-2-1-1-1.
Okay, so I mean, there's gonna be some travel days in between, so that's gonna benefit them. But right now, if the Yankees go 2-0 and if Yankees go 3-0, and they get to the and Boyd only pitches 2 innings and they get to the bullpen early, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be the Yankees are gonna probably be celebrating early. So I agree. I mean, for them to get through their bullpen, and that's the thing, by having if the Yankees get to their starting rotation early, by game 3 and 4, they're gonna be seeing these guys for the third or fourth time already.
Exactly.
So that only benefits the Yankees at this point, you know. So we might be getting a party early, and
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Hey, yo.
hey yo,
Yo, it's actually 2-3-2, which is wild that they went back.
they went back to 2-3-2, even worse.
They went
the
back
Guardians.
to 2-3-2, which is no bueno. No bueno.
Hey yo's in the chat. Hey, listen.
Hey, yo's in the chat for real, bro. He said, play that one more time, bro. That shit caught me off guard.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. So
Hey,
Yeah, that's what's up.
hey, yo. Yo, this is for all of y'all that went out this weekend and copped that LeBron Hennessy. You nasty
man,
fucks, you. We know who you are. A lot of y'all LeBron, like a lot of y'all bron sexuals went and copped that Bronny Hennessy.
Oh man,
yeah, man, that's for y'all. So 2-3-2 is indeed the format. All right, I'm gonna come right out and say this though. I mean, 2-3-2 is kind of like, yeah, bro. It's a possibility the Yankees are celebrating.
Oh yeah,
it's a possibility the Yankees are celebrating in Cleveland. Because then that screws them for the off days.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like again, even if the Yankees get to them early in game 1 and 2, that again by game 4 they're looking at these guys 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, now you might be looking at Yankees in 5. So let's see, man. It only takes one of their guys to shove, though. In all fairness, but it's gonna be interesting to see that part. But yeah, man, the new format doesn't benefit them. Then with three games in a row, definitely doesn't benefit them at all.
What they're saying, it's interesting because I was reading, like I said, I was reading up on Twitter, and a lot of their fans are just like, the ideally they get to the bullpen quick. We got to get to our bullpen quick because that's what's gonna save it. It's like you can't play 7-game series like that.
No, that 7 games is way different.
You can't do that in set. And I think some Guardians fans could be set up for heartbreak early on if they see that Vogt is not just jumping to the bullpen and getting mad at him when that's not the right move. In a 7-game series, you can't put it like this. That I feel like if you're Cleveland, for you to win this series, it has to be a deep series, 6 or 7.
Correct.
Whereas if you're the Yankees, you can win a full series, you can win a short series. You're built to win it either way. But I think for Cleveland, if they're going to win it, it has to be in 6 or 7. So if you're Stephen Vogt, just as a manager, you can't be going so crazy on the bullpen early in the series, which means that some guys might be hung out there to dry at some point. As we have a member chat from Mike De La Guardia. Henny White is better than Le Cabron Henny.
Oh shit, Le Cabron Henny.
Le Cabron Henny. I like that name. Que cabron. Okay, so yeah, bro. I don't know. My prediction was also going to be Yankees in 6. But that was when I thought it was 2-3-1-1-1.
Yeah, I'm leaning 5 now.
2-2-1-1-1. Now that I know it's 2-3-2, I'm more inclined to say Yanks in 5. And again, I ain't trying to disrespect Cleveland. This is just full confidence in my team and what we're bringing to the table. The fact that we have home field advantage. If it was flipped, if the Yankees didn't get that top spot in the last weekend and we were starting this series in Cleveland, I'd be singing a different tune. It is what it is. I think home field is a thing. Even though the Yankees have played better on the road, I do think home field is a thing. But yeah, bro, I don't know. 2-3-2. I think that kind of favors us in a weird way. Some people might say, "How they get 3 straight in Cleveland?" I think that kind of favors us in a way. I'm going to go Yanks in 5.
I agree. Can't argue with that.
Guys saying, do you think Rodon wins 2 games? It wouldn't. It's not. It wouldn't shock me.
We don't need him to win 2 games. He could lose 1 and win 1.
I was gonna say, but here's the thing. Rodon can pitch. Say Rodon pitches, to like a no decision type tomorrow, and then we take the lead later in the game, and somebody in the bullpen gets credited with the win. It's still a win, even if I think with Rodon. Yeah, I think with Rodon, truth always. What's up, brother? I think with Rodon, I think we get too maybe we might get a little bit too caught up in that. Oh, like he's not going to win us the game. Like he's not going to go and do what Cole just did in Game 4. But yeah, maybe he doesn't do that tomorrow. But maybe he also does. Like I think people have forgotten that Rodon had some great freaking starts this year.
Yep.
He had some great starts this season. No. He had great starts, and he's very much capable of going out there and doing something similar to what Garrett Cole did in Game 4. Hell, that could be tomorrow night for all we know, or it could be Game 5 in Cleveland for all we know. But again, it's not. It wouldn't shock me, and I'll say this again for those who already forgot. Those first couple innings of Game 2, he looked great. He looked like he was rolling.
He looked phenomenal. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
he struck out 5 guys in 2 innings.
Yeah.
So he looked untouchable in the first couple innings. I think what happened was his second time through the order, because it was a fourth when everything fell apart. He got out of the third, I think, with a solo shot, right? I think what he needs to is not go that slider heavy, and hopefully they have that conversation. His changeup is actually really good. Yeah. He gets a lot of swings and misses and soft contact on it. He needs to mix that in more. And listen, if you could do that and get second time through the order, then you're talking about Rodon in 5 innings. And at that point, you can be like, Rodon, now we're going batter for batter. Go out there and leave it all in the field. Rodon's throwing 99 and stuff like that. If you tag it, you tag it. I think he needs to also make an adjustment where, especially when he was feeling his fastball, like he was controlling it the way he was, I think he needed to stay with it. They didn't hit his fastball. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, one of the guys who throws the most fastballs is Luis Castillo. He throws like 80% fastball sometimes in his starts. Until they hit it, go ahead and hammer it. Correct. Yeah. So it's like, I think that's what Rodon needs is more of his pitch mix, I think is what the issue is. And I saw a lot of Yankees Twitter content creators from different avenues all talking about his pitch mix decisions in that game. Like, why are you going so slider heavy? 3 straight sliders to Salvi is not a good idea.
No, so, that was a very, very dumb decision. Again, with stuff like that, you obviously sometimes that's where you miss having a veteran guy as a backstop, because pitchers are a little bit less likely to like kind of just shake off
themselves. They're worried about something else.
Like, they trust themselves way more when it's a younger guy behind the plate, and they're like, nah, kid, I know what I'm talking about. Slider. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet the farm Austin Wells didn't want to go 3 sliders there. Any catcher who's worth his weight in salt is not going to say 3 sliders. But
no,
I'm glad that you're saying this, because again, all that says is that Rodon was 1 tweak, 2 tweaks away from having a
phenomenal start in
Game 2. So this is why I'm still believing in him. And I call me crazy. I know I said the same thing before Game 2 against the Royals. I'm going to say it again here. I think Rodon is coming out tomorrow night. I think he's going to fucking shove. I think the energy in the Bronx is going to be
bananas,
electric. And I think he's going to feed off that. And I think he is going to finish what he tried to start in Game 2 against the Royals. That's just where I'm at with it. So I got the Yanks in 5. You sticking with Yanks in 6? The chat mostly is.
I'll stay with it at 6.
You'll stay 6. Okay, cool. And the chat is mostly 5 or 6. That's where we're at. We got a couple real confident people in here talk about Yanks in 4. Listen, nobody would love a sweep more than your boys over at NYYU. Okay, the boss, he needs to rest the voice. Get it ready to, hopefully call his first World Series for the good guys. So if it's a sweep, nobody will be happier than us.
It's gonna be insane, dude.
But we gotta remember, bro. It's this Guardians team that's gonna be playing against us is no slouch. And yeah, bro, don't believe the hype. Don't buy into all that shit you see on Twitter. People have been writing off everybody in the American League and say, "Oh, the Yankees have the easiest path and this and that, whatever." Like this is not the playoffs, and games don't still have to be played, and we haven't faced our own adversities. Don't fall victim to that bullshit.
Correct.
Here's another question.
Oh,
who do you think is going to be the ALCS MVP?
I am going to go with the one and only Giancarlo Stanton.
Yo, that would be fucking epic, dogs. If G wins an ALCS MVP, I might shed a tear live. I'm telling you, I might shed a tear if G wins the ALCS MVP. Let me see you guys in the chat. Tell me who you guys think is going to be the ALCS MVP.
Yeah, guys, who you guys think is the MVP of the LCS? Yeah, I think, like I said, I feel like Big G is going to continue his hot streak. Listen, that last single he hit, it was off 100 mph, and he ripped that up the middle. That's something that's nice to see from G. He's just so powerful, dude. No stride, no problem for that guy. I know he can't run. Bob Costas made it clear, but it doesn't matter when you hit the ball over the wall. So it's going to be interesting, but I think that Big G is going to have a phenomenal series. That's going to allow Judge to play a little looser, which I think he's going to have a nice series. And I think Soto's going to be what he does all the time. Soto's going to be who he does. Soto was a couple of feet from having two big home runs in the series too.
Facts.
People forget that.
That one to center field was crazy. I'm going with Judge. I'm gonna go with Judge again.
Capitan.
This is all heart here. I think Judge needs this shit.
He does, though.
I think Judge needs this shit. I think he needs this shit bad. I think, look, he won an MVP already. He's gonna win his second MVP. I know it. He has the home run record. All that shit is cute. Okay, almost won a triple crown. Okay, great. Buy yourself a bag of chips. Have a day. I think what he really needs is a win in the postseason. And this is the kind of win that I'm talking about. Knowing that in an American League Championship Series, which has historically for your Yankees, if you're Aaron Judge, for your Yankees, this round has been the house of horrors for you. Mm-hmm. This has been El Cuco. This has been the freaking Chupacabra. This has been everything. This has been the worst nightmare for the New York Yankees has been these four letters in Judge's tenure, ALCS. It's been the worst, okay? Yeah. I mean, you went from the highest of highs in 2017 to just constant failure every time after. And this year, it seems like everything's there. All the cards are laid out. Everything's in your favor. All the stars are aligned. Everything, whatever. The path to the World Series. All that shit's there. But we still need one thing, and that's Aaron James Judge to show the fuck up and shut people the fuck up, because I am sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of listening to freaking MLB Network with the Ohtani shit every day. Even when he doesn't play, we have to hear about Ohtani. Every day. I mean, yesterday, the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians played a game 5, and they were talking to me about Ohtani. Okay? I'm over it. I'm over it. I need Aaron Judge to do some wild shit, okay? He needs to go ham in this series, and he needs to make sure that that ALCS MVP is his, so that at the very least, I get some Judge with the Ohtani, okay? Because they're not going to stop talking about the gambler. They love the gambler. They're big gambler fans. So they're not going to stop talking about him. At least, Judge, give me something, man. Do it for us. Please. Please. I got to go with Judge. I think Judge is going to do it.
Listen, I was going to say, I need to stop the people that are talking about the easiest path, and you know who they are. It's the guys who didn't pass the wild card.
The guys who are looking for good spots on the beach.
Like, listen, bro, enjoy your time in Cancun, the Bahamas, wherever the fuck you guys at. This is not concern you guys. At the end of the day, you play the team that's in front of you.
Watch the football.
Correct. You guys couldn't advance. You play the same teams that everybody's playing now, and you didn't come through. I don't want to hear it. I don't care who's in front. The Yankees win. The Yankees win. It is what it is. And this is what happens by being a Yankee fan. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. If the Yankees do it, it's the easiest route. If they don't, they choked. So I go. So this is what I'm saying to those fans who have nothing to do but just watch and be quiet.
Exactly.
So listen, 4 fan bases are talking right now. That's it. 4.
you know exactly who they are. We don't got to name ya. We don't got to name ya. Just, you know what I'm saying? Get the suntan lotion out, okay? It's just get the swim trunks, make sure they're nice and ready for the pool tomorrow, and let the big boys worry about the baseball. All right, stop it. All this other shit. Because here's the thing: what I see on the timeline, when I see that shit, I just see them practicing their excuses for when we win this whole damn thing. That's what
that's what it is.
they're getting the excuses out early so that they can say, "Oh no, I didn't just start saying this after they won it all. I've been saying this all playoffs." They're starting it early so that it sounds familiar by the time we win all this shit. Well, they had the easiest path. Well, MLB set it up so they could do it. Well, this and that, whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
Just like MLB set up an extra 2 wild cards. A lot of you teams shouldn't even be in the playoffs discussion for the last couple of years, and MLB is making that available to you guys.
It's a
All
fact.
right. So we started popping champagne in the wild card series to make the wild card. That's something that wasn't done a lot before. So again, the MLB is trying to make it more teams make the playoffs, and you guys are out here talking smack to teams that normally win the division and are the LDS and the ALCS. So I don't want to hear it. The Yankees been to the LCS a couple of times. Yes, they couldn't get over the hump or whoever that monster is. But at the end of the day, if the Yankees get to the World Series this year, they're probably going to be in the same spot in the next couple of years, and we'll see each other and let it be in. But remember, yes, at the end of the day, the regular season doesn't matter now, but you guys saw a taste of the new Yankees. It's not the same old Yankees as before, brother. You guys you're not peaking anymore. You're on the downfall, right? Other teams are going up. I'm sorry that you can only win a couple, but
It is what it is. I mean, I see how the Astros fan in my mentions the other day talking about, you guys are so happy. You're happy that you're not going to the ALCS against us because you're afraid of what I wanted to dance with you fucks, okay? I wanted to dance.
We were expecting the
I
Astros
wanted-
in the LCS, a lot of us.
Guess
Let's
what?
be honest.
Kev, they didn't buy their ticket. That's not my problem.
That's not our issue either.
That ain't my problem. Listen, I wanted to dance. Y'all didn't come to the dance. What do you want us to do? All right, shifting gears a little bit before we wrap it up here tonight is what are your thoughts on the NLCS? We know right now the Dodgers are putting a nice little beat down on Queens baseball, but yeah, got the New York Mets versus the LA Dodgers in the NLCS. What is your prediction? What are your thoughts on that series?
Listen, where I think that it separates, because the Dodgers are top heavy when it comes to offense. The Mets have been getting production from a lot of places in their lineup. So I think what separates both teams is the Dodgers bullpen, right? The starting rotation, I think they're both. I mean, what the Dodgers have Yamamoto, Flattery, and who's their third? I haven't been watching.
They pitched Walker Buehler.
That's what and Walker's coming from injury, so he hasn't pitched much this year. So
their
listen,
rotation it can be had.
Yeah, it has some issues. It has some holes, as they say.
Yeah.
The Mets rotation as well isn't the strongest, but Manaya, who didn't pitch today, who to me is their number one right now.
Yeah,
that dude's nasty, bro. Acknowledge him, whatever they say over there. He's the tribal chief, whatever they joke at over there. But he's nasty, bro. Sevy, I don't know what we're gonna get from Sevy. We see a lot of things from Sevy. It's gonna be interesting. So I think they're paired up there. Today, yes, it's 6-0, but I have to think that it's hard to bet against the Mets. But after seeing the Dodgers face a hot team like the Padres and be down 2-1 and still come up with a W with a team that also has a great bullpen and also has a better starting rotation than the Mets, and you can argue their lineup was getting production all over just like the Mets, it's hard to bet against the Dodgers. So if I'm going to have to pick and put money on somebody, I'm going to have to, at this point, part ways with the Queens baseball community and pick, unfortunately, the Shohei Ohtani 7 batters from Shohei hitting Dodgers. During judges at bat, that's what we're going to see. 2 outs and 3 batters before Ohtani hits. And I don't want to see that, but I gotta pick the Dodgers in the NLCS.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Look, but I think it will go 6 or 7, though.
Ideally, that should go 6 or 7. Please.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. Look, I am by no stretch of the imagination a Mets fan. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of family who are Mets fans, but I am by no stretch a Mets fan. That being said, watching them play this October and the last month of the season has been some of the best baseball I have watched in a long freaking time. Okay. This team is fun. This team has magic to them. They are resilient. They are relentless. They never say die. It's never over. It just never seems like it's fucking over with the Mets. Literally, for me to believe that somebody is going to beat them at this point, I have to see it done. I have to see them on the plane to Cancun to join Boston, Houston, and all the other haters. Okay. Until then, it's going to be really hard for me to believe it. But yeah, bro, I think honestly, again, logic is on Kev's side here. The Dodgers have a lot, and they did show something in beating San Diego last round. I did not think they were going to beat San Diego. I thought San Diego was going to beat them. I thought San Diego was playing pretty much, if anybody could compare themselves to the Mets, I think it was San Diego. And that's probably the reason that I really wanted San Diego versus the Mets, because I was like, bro, if this ain't the two hottest teams going like that, I feel like
at it.
Been wild, bro.
Yep.
And you know, unfortunately, we didn't get that. But yeah, bro, the Dodgers showed something. And like you said, after being down 2-1, listen, it doesn't matter. You can have Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, or whatever. Down 2-1 in the DS is not easy. Period. It's not easy for anybody. It doesn't matter how good your team is. Doesn't matter who you have pitching. It doesn't matter who you got up at the plate. If you're down 2-1, that is not a good position to be in. And the Dodgers still found a way to pull that series out. So they definitely showed something. They're going to the 7th inning now, game 1. They're up 6-0 against the Mets at home. I think they're going to win Giants touchdown. I like that tie game. All right.
Okay, a little Giant, a little Giants action.
I'm gonna come.
A little Giants.
I like it.
A little
like
TD,
it a lot.
Yankee Giant CDs. All right. But yeah, listen, I will say this, because everybody, as much as momentum is a real thing, who was hotter than the Phillies last year? Bryce Harper was having an A-Rod type postseason, that run.
Crazy.
And what happened in the World Series.
Yep.
So, guys, listen, I get it. We saw it with the Padres too. They beat the brakes off the Dodgers, and they went up 2-1, and we thought that it was done. Everybody was calling it quits. It's done. The Dodgers are winning, right? I mean, the Padres were going to win that series, and look what happened. Do the Mets still have some amazing in them? It remains to be seen. But a lot of them and a lot of the fans always are talking about the momentum and how hot they are. They come back from every game. But listen, bro, Derek Jeter said it. It's not easy to come back late in games every single time. And the stress you put on your bullpen and a 7-game series, you'll feel it way more than an ALDS 5-game series.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And that's what we're talking about. We're not hating on the Mets.
No.
Honestly, I thought that today they should have. If they split, they did what they had to do. They got to take care of business at home.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, it's looking like tomorrow they're throwing. They haven't decided who. If they just throw anybody, and they got Yamamoto at home, which I think that's what they're trying to do. Yamamoto in Game 3, and if somehow you lose tomorrow's game and you're down 2-0 with Yamamoto at home, that's where it starts to get funny, right? So
you can't. I feel like if you're the Met, you can't go down 2-0. You got Manaea going tomorrow. You cannot go down 2-0.
No,
you gotta win the Manaea game. You have to.
Yeah.
If somehow they lose tomorrow, yeah, bro, it gets.
It's gonna be rough.
It gets late really early for Quinn. And here's the thing, bro, because you brought up the Jeter point, and I think that speaks to the point I was making at the beginning. And I feel like a lot of people are forgetting this, because while that run that the Mets are on has been magical and it's been dope as fuck to watch, what can't go missing is how difficult that is on the players, though. It's never easy with them.
No.
It's never easy. They play a lot of back and forth games. They had to come back a lot. That's not just physically taxing. It's emotionally taxing. It's mentally taxing. And it puts a lot more miles on you than if you were a team like the Dodgers, who, won their division and had a week off and was just preparing and getting ready for the DS, and like the Yankees were and stuff like that. The Mets have been fucking locked in playoff baseball for a month and a half. It feels like the Mets have been in the playoffs for a month and a half. Eventually, you know, something's got to give, and this could be that series, but I don't want to write. I don't want to sound like we're writing them off after one game. I don't
No,
think,
we're not.
I don't think either of our predictions have anything to do with the way that this game is going per se. It's more so just the overall scope of it. The Dodgers are a lot, and it's not that the Mets haven't faced a lot just to get here, but the Dodgers are a whole freaking lot with home field advantage, and the Mets have already gone through a lot. With that being said, who do you predict being the NLCS MVP?
Teoscar Hernandez.
Ooh, good call. Good call. Good call. I would love to see Teoscar Hernandez. I would love to see Teoscar Hernandez win it. I feel like it'll be a pitcher. I'm not sure who.
Oh, please don't let it be Yamamoto.
I'm not sure who, but I feel like I don't know why I'm getting vibes that it's gonna be
It might have to be Flattery then, because he already went game one. He
Flaherty.
pitched a
Yeah, I
shutout.
think,
So if he wins game two and he goes to one and he doesn't allow a run, he might be the guy.
I feel like that. Yeah, I don't know why, bro. I don't know. I'm getting that vibe. Like that one's gonna be a pitcher one. So yeah, I'll go. So I'll go with Flaherty. You're going Teoscar.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I would.
Teoscar likes the bright lights, man.
He does. He does. I would fucking love to see the Mets fucking win it and Lindor win that shit. I would love that shit.
You would love that? Yo, Michael K doesn't like that buddy stuff. Bro.
I know Michael K hates that shit. At the end of the day, y mira la vaina. It's like, bro, I said it to y'all. I said it in the chat with it, bro. Like, I'm not a Mets fan, bro. It's not like I'm saying, yo, I want to see them win the whole thing. No, I want to win the whole thing. Matter of fact, I would love to win the whole thing over them. I would love nothing more than to win the World Series over the Mets in a 4-game sweep and just like brutalize them for 4 straight games. That's what I would love. That being said, they're not playing us right now. They're playing the Dodgers and Ohtani. Yep. All right. I don't like Ohtani. Okay. He is a great player. He is one of the greatest players, but the mass media has done a number on me when it comes to him. I cannot do it. So it would warm my heart because Ohtani's winning MVP. It would warm my heart
with a double and a hit.
Loco. I mean, he's winning I'm saying he's winning the regular season MVP. So for me, if Lindor and the Mets found a way to dispatch of the Dodgers and Lindor walked away with that NLCS MVP, it's the old. I'm telling you, it is the perfect whatever moment for Lindor. If he's like, all right, yeah, you won the regular season MVP, but when it mattered the most, I walked away with that trophy, man. Get out of here, gambler. Like, it is what it is, man. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen, but all right, man. We can go ahead. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, yo, wrap it up.
Hey, yo.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. So
yeah, that's just up.
Yo, my cousin is a huge LeBron fan, so I send him that shit every day through WhatsApp. Every day I send him that shit.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. You just gave me an idea because I got a good friend of mine who's a very big LeBron fan.
Man.
You imagine something about LeBron comes out from a Diddy party?
Oh, forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about
it.
What the fuck are you talking about? All right, guys. Listen, man. That being said, y'all already know. I didn't want to end the show without just saying something on air, and you guys were speaking to Pete in the chat. I know he said it to a lot of you guys in the chat. Just remember to keep in mind, Pete, Jira, and the family. They lost Omega, who was, a very, very big part of their family. For those of you guys who have been a part of this community for years now, you guys know exactly, who I'm talking about and just how much he meant to them. It's not an easy time. No. And thoughts and prayers are more than appreciated. I mean, even tonight for us to put on this show, Pete is still, there producing it, with everything that he has going on. And I think it's just a testament to how committed they are to everything that we're doing, and more than anything else, how committed they are to this community. So do your part like you guys always do, man. Just keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. That we will be back for you as always with everything to cover the rest of the playoffs, because that's just who we are. And the reason that we are that way is because the leadership at the top is that way. So if you have a moment, if praying is something you do, don't forget to throw them in there, because it's much appreciated. I'm saying it for him. I know, for sure he'll feel that way. But for real, man, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. It's not an easy time. You guys know it's losing a family member. It's not. I don't want to even say it's losing a family member for real.
And again, guys, like this is why I feel like with the community, getting to know you guys at these events, talking here, talking on Discord, growing, knowing everybody, it's different when it comes to NYYU. And I'm gonna use a great quote that one of my favorite movies of all time, Remember the Titans, is where they say attitude reflect leadership. And the attitude that we have here at NYYU and how we're dedicated to you guys, to these events, to you guys meet us, and we're the same guys that you see here, to see in person. It all reflects from the top down. And the guy behind that's not talking right now, Mr.
Mackie no likey, Hitty the subby.
He's always working harder than anybody has any idea. And this is why anytime I can help him out, him take some time off, I will. And in this situation where they really need thoughts and prayers, and they need you guys to be here and send the support, and so it'd be greatly appreciated, honestly, because the boss has been working hard no matter what. But it's a tough time for them in Jira. So prayers to you guys, and thank you guys as well here in NYYU.
You already know, man. So tomorrow we will be back. NYY Underground will be back.
Yes, sir.
Coverage of Game 1 of the American League Championship Series, Yankees, Guardians. You already know we're gonna have you guys covered all throughout. It's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a ball. Do your thing. Like I said, man, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. On the way out in the chat, I want you guys to flood the chat with Forever Mega, because we will never forget Omega, a huge part of the community. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But like I said, it's designated Spittaz, so I got to take us out the way we always take us out. But throw those in the chat. Forever Mega, forever. Okay. Y'all already know. Keep it locked and stay tuned. The next episode will, in fact, be the best episode. We out. Thank you, Kev.
Thank you, Francis.
See you guys soon. Forever Mega, baby. We out.
It's heavy. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect. When you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me. They don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause it's the company you keep. Stay woke. Please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me. Can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's about where I'm meant to